While you are waiting, let's go. Every star you see right now, every galaxy, makes up just 5% of the universe. The other 95%? Completely invisible. And when scientists mapped this invisible universe for the first time in 2026, what they found shocked everyone. Today, I'm going to tell you the 10 darkest secrets the universe is hiding from us. These aren't conspiracy theories. Every single one is based on scientific data published in peer-reviewed journals. And as we count down from number 10 to number 1, the secrets get more and more disturbing. Secret 10, the dark matter map, the universe's invisible skeleton. Everything we can see in the universe, every star, every planet, every galaxy, makes up only 5% of the total. 27% is dark matter, 68% is dark energy. That means 95% of the universe is completely invisible. But in January 2026, something changed. Dr. Gavin Leroy and his team at Durham University used data from the James Webb Telescope to create the highest resolution dark matter map ever produced. Published in Nature Astronomy, this map was made by measuring how the light from approximately 800,000 galaxies bends. Because dark matter doesn't emit light, doesn't absorb it, doesn't reflect it, but it exerts gravity. And that gravity bends the light of distant galaxies, like looking through a warped glass. The result was shocking. The map showed that dark matter in the universe overlaps almost perfectly with normal matter. Wherever there's a galaxy, there's invisible dark matter too. And even more importantly, the dark matter clumped together first, then pulled normal matter toward it. Galaxies, stars, planets, even you and me are structures shaped by the gravity of dark matter. Compared to previous maps made with Hubble, this new map is twice as sharp. Thanks to Webb, 10 times more galaxies could be analyzed. But the truly unsettling part is this. This map covers only a small region of the universe. The European Space Agency's Euclid telescope will survey a third of the sky. NASA's Nancy Grace Roman telescope will look even deeper. And in October 2026, Euclid's first cosmology data will be released. The real map of the dark universe hasn't even been drawn yet. And someone might ask, does dark matter actually exist? Maybe we're just misunderstanding the laws of gravity. We'll answer that question in the next secret. Secret 9, the gravity glitch. What if Newton and Einstein were wrong? In 2024, a study published in Physical Review Letters shook the scientific world. Researchers measured the rotation speeds of galaxies and found that Newton's and Einstein's gravity equations don't hold at the galactic scale. Stars at the outer edges of galaxies were spinning far faster than predicted. Either there's extra mass out there we can't see, meaning dark matter, or our laws of gravity are incomplete. And this isn't something happening only in distant galaxies. In 2025, Space.com reported that researchers suggested gravity may have a hidden complexity, and that the origins of dark matter effects need to be reevaluated. So either we can't see 85% of the universe's matter, or the very foundation of how we understand the universe is cracked. Both options are disturbing, because it means the universe might be lying to us at the most fundamental level. What we see is only a faint shadow of reality. Secret 8, the ghost particle, the universe's most powerful bullet. February 13, 2023, off the coast of Sicily at a depth of 3,450 meters in the Mediterranean Sea, a detector that wasn't even fully built yet made a historic discovery. The neutrino telescope called KM3 captured the highest energy cosmic neutrino ever detected. This particle carried 220 peta-electron volts. To put that in perspective, that's 30,000 times the energy produced by the Large Hadron Collider, the most powerful particle accelerator on Earth. And this particle came from the deepest reaches of the universe, traveling at nearly the speed of light. In a paper published in Nature in February 2025, over 360 scientists from the KM3 collaboration shared the details of this discovery. The detector was only operating at 10% of its capacity, and a single muon, the secondary particle created when the neutrino interacted with water, crossed the entire detector and triggered more than a third of its active sensors. But the real mystery is where this neutrino came from. There are two possibilities. Either it came from a colossal cosmic accelerator at the extreme edges of the universe, like a blazar, a supermassive black hole firing a particle jet directly towards Earth, or this is the first detection of what's called a cosmogenic neutrino, a particle born from the interaction of ultra-high energy cosmic rays with photons from the cosmic microwave background. If the second possibility is true, this would be direct evidence of the highest energy events in the universe. In the words of Harvard University's Professor Francis Hausen, observing neutrinos with 10 million times the energy of those produced at Fermilab is a tremendous opportunity to discover physics beyond the standard model. And remember, the detector was only at 10% capacity. Nobody knows what it will find when it reaches full operation. Secret 7. Little red dots, objects that shouldn't exist. In the summer of 2022, when the James Webb Telescope began sending its first scientific images, astronomers noticed something unexpected. Scattered throughout the images were small, compact, distinctly red dots. They were named little red dots, and they were everywhere. Wherever Webb looked into the deepest corners of space, back to the first 500 million years of the universe, these red dots appeared. But then, around the time the universe was about 2 billion years old, they completely vanished. They show up, then disappear. Professor Fabio Pacucci of the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics said, "These are JWST's most surprising discovery to date. They're about 1/10 the size of typical galaxies, but unusually bright. And for years, scientists debated what they were: star clusters, black holes, or something entirely new." In January 2026, a team led by Professor Derek Watson of the Niels Bohr Institute at the University of Copenhagen announced they had found the answer. The little red dots were young black holes hidden inside dense gas cocoons, 100 times lighter than previously thought, and they were rapidly consuming the gas around them, growing fast. This process produces immense heat, and the light shines through the cocoon, giving them their unique red color. But here's what's disturbing. If this is correct, then massive black holes were already forming in the first few 100 million years of the universe, and they weren't born from collapsing stars. They formed directly from the collapse of massive gas clouds. This direct collapse black hole theory was a hypothesis without direct observational evidence, until Webb found these little red dots. Secret 6. The Boötes Void, the desert of nothingness. The universe looks like a full place: galaxies, star clusters, nebulae, but in 1981, Robert Kirshner and his team discovered a colossal void in the direction of the Boötes constellation, a region 330 million light-years across with almost nothing inside. It's one of the largest known structures in the observable universe. For perspective, our Milky Way galaxy is 100,000 light-years wide. You could line up 3,000 Milky Ways side by side across the Boötes void and still not fill it. Only about 60 galaxies have been detected inside. For comparison, you'd expect tens of thousands in a typical region that size. Some theorists say these voids are a natural part of the universe's large-scale structure. According to the cosmic Webb model, matter gathers along filaments and leaves vast voids in between. But Boötes is far larger than even that model predicts. And some scientists are asking a more radical question. What if this void isn't natural? What if an advanced civilization harvested all the energy in its region? This is the Kardashev scale Type 3 civilization. Of course, there's no evidence for this, but the void's size still awaits a satisfying explanation. Secret 5. Is the universe a simulation? In 2003, Oxford University philosopher Nick Bostrom published one of the most disturbing arguments in history: the simulation hypothesis. The argument goes like this: if any civilization ever reaches the technology to create sufficiently advanced computer simulations, they would likely create billions of simulated consciousnesses. And if that's the case, simulated beings would astronomically outnumber real ones. Statistically, the probability that you're in base reality is nearly zero. And there are hints in physics that support this. In quantum mechanics, particles remain in an uncertain state until they're observed, just like a video game that only renders what the player is looking at. The Planck length, the smallest measurable distance in the universe, acts like a kind of pixel limit, and the speed of light behaves like a processing cap. In 2022, physicist Melvin Vopson of the University of Portsmouth proposed that information may have mass, and that this mass could be measurable. If information really is a physical quantity, the idea of the universe running as a computational system grows even stronger. Of course, this isn't proof, but what unsettles scientists is this: disproving the simulation hypothesis is nearly impossible, because you can't test the boundaries of a simulation from inside it, and that's the universe's most philosophical secret. If you're still here and these secrets have surprised you, take 1 second and hit the like button. It helps the channel grow and makes it possible for me to keep researching and bringing you content like this. Now let's keep going because the fourth secret is far more disturbing. Secret 4. The Great Cold Spot, the unexplained hole in the universe. The cosmic microwave background radiation is light released about 380,000 years after the Big Bang, coming from every direction in the universe. This light is almost perfectly uniform, but in 2004, a massive cold spot was discovered in the direction of the Eridanus constellation. This region is about 70 microkelvin colder than its surroundings. That might sound like a tiny difference, but the universe's standard model cannot explain an anomaly this large. The region is about 10 degrees wide, roughly 20 times the size of a full moon. Some explanations have been proposed. Maybe there's a massive cosmic void in that direction, and light loses energy as it passes through. But a 2017 study showed that the void in that region isn't large enough to explain the anomaly on its own. A more speculative theory, the Great Cold Spot could be the imprint of our universe making contact with another universe. In multiverse theory, parallel universes expand like bubbles and sometimes touch. That point of contact could leave exactly this kind of imprint on the cosmic microwave background. Unproven? Yes, but the standard model can't explain it either, and this remains one of the universe's biggest open questions. Secret 3. The Cosmic Doomsday Clock. Vacuum decay. When the Higgs boson was discovered at CERN in 2012, physicists noticed something. The mass of the Higgs field suggested the universe might be in a metastable state. What does that mean? The universe isn't currently in its lowest energy state. A lower energy state exists, and any trigger could start the transition. This is called vacuum decay. If it happens, a true vacuum bubble begins expanding at the speed of light. Inside this bubble, the laws of physics are different. Atoms, molecules, matter itself cannot exist, and you can't see it coming because it spreads at the speed of light. There is no warning. Physicists estimate the probability of this happening is extremely low, over timescales vastly longer than the current age of the universe, but it's not zero. And here's the disturbing part. If this process has already started anywhere in the universe, a bubble could be heading towards us at the speed of light, and we would never know. Secret 2. Boltzmann brains. You might be the only real thing in the universe. 19th century physicist Ludwig Boltzmann's work on thermodynamics led to one of modern cosmology's most disturbing paradoxes. The Boltzmann brains problem goes like this. Given enough time, random quantum fluctuations could spontaneously create a conscious brain in empty space. This brain could have false memories, believe a universe exists around it, but actually be a statistical glitch existing for just a moment in the void before vanishing. And here's the terrifying part. If the universe keeps expanding forever, far more Boltzmann brains will form than real observers, the kind that evolved on planets around stars. Statistically, the probability that you're a Boltzmann brain is higher than the probability that you're a real observer. This isn't just a thought experiment. In 2004, cosmologists Sean Carroll and his team argued that this problem needs to be taken seriously, and it still hasn't been solved. Some physicists hope the universe will eventually stop expanding, which would sidestep the paradox, but current data indicates the universe will expand forever. So everything you're reading or hearing right now could be a false memory, and there is no way to prove or disprove it. Secret 1. Heat death, the inevitable end of everything. And the number one secret, the universe's darkest truth. According to the second law of thermodynamics, entropy always increases in a closed system, disorder always grows, and the universe is a closed system. This means the universe is heading towards an inevitable end, heat death. Every star will die. The last red dwarf stars will exhaust their fuel in about 100 trillion years. Black holes will evaporate through Hawking radiation, but that process will take a googol years. That's 10 to the power of 100. And eventually, all that will remain are photons and particles, at a temperature near absolute zero, in infinite darkness, expanding forever. No civilization, no matter how advanced, can stop this. The law of conservation of energy cannot be broken. And based on the universe's current expansion data, this process is irreversible. But maybe the real secret isn't this. The real secret is, why does the universe exist? Why is there something rather than nothing? And that question leaves the realm of physics and enters philosophy. Maybe the universe's darkest secret is the question we'll never answer. If these secrets made you think and you want to go even deeper into the universe, subscribe and turn on notifications. Don't forget to like this video. Write in the comments which secret disturbed you the most. See you in the next one.